Alright, it's filming Friday, in brackets working title. So I'm gonna tell you about how I'm trying to organize my time. Keeping in mind that I'm very tired, so this could be the usual shit show. Am I allowed to swear this early? I think I am, because they changed that. Let's not overthink it. So my life has been a bit crazy. Doesn't help that I had the 3 months of migraines, and then, muscle pain, and then more migraines, and just sleep problems and general disruption. And I feel like pretty much since my gig, my big crowbar gig, pretty much since then, I feel like life has just been chaos, because preparing for that was a lot, and I know I keep forgetting to post all that stuff on Patreon. I actually have heaps of stuff for Patreon that I just haven't got around to, and maybe that's something that I should have put in this. But anyway, where am I going? I think since then, preparing for that was a lot, and then recovering from that, and then Triton had a lot of health issues, and then I started having a lot of health issues, and it's just been chaos since then. But before that, I was starting to get a sense of rhythm, and I think I was kind of doing this subconsciously, or half-consciously, not exactly planned and written down, but I'm trying to get back to it because, having structure to my life seems to be the best way for me to get things done, especially... when I was in school, I was very good academically, and I think one of the things that really helped me was that in school, you have a lot of structure, and sort of since I left school, I'm not even studying at uni anymore, which I did for a long time on and off, dropped out of a lot, but also did quite a lot. Anytime that I wasn't at uni, life was sort of a mush, and so I think structure is really important to me. And now that I am a too mentally ill to work nutcase, sitting at home trying to figure out how to pass the time between now and death in the least painful way possible, I need to find new ways to do structure, and so I'm kind of going back to what I was doing last year before I got my gig, and allocating time, and I think I have come up with the gist of it. So, I know it's slightly out of focus. Music Monday, Art Tuesday, Website Wednesday, Author Thursday, Filming Friday, Streaming Saturday, Cleaning Sunday. I'm not entirely sure about Saturday. It could be social media Saturday. I could put social media stuff together. Or I could actually go out and be social, and Saturday is the day to do it, right? And the one thing that I haven't been able to fit, apart from Patreon, is bonsai. But bonsai is very weather dependent, and there is a lot of chaos going on at the moment. If you saw my video about why Trines cross, the one with the the balconies fucked again, and it's gonna be 4 to 6 weeks apparently, although apparently it's more damaged than they expected, so no one has updated me on whether that's going to add any time. There's just... It's too hard to do bonsai at the moment. Just keeping them alive is going to be the challenge. I have set reminders in my phone, so every 2 days it'll tell me to water them, because it's winter. It's not too bad, but it's windy. Wind can take the water away. I just need to keep on top of it, because all my Chinese elms, they kind of went dormant, but then I started watering them again, and now they're coming back to life in the middle of winter. Now, granted, Sydney's winter is not that bad, and they're only semi-deciduous, but then I'm realizing, shit, they were probably dying and just going dormant because they didn't have enough water, so I need to be more on top of that. Anyway, so I'm also not sure about filming Friday, because I film a lot. Do I need a whole day to allocate to filming? But then again, most of the filming that I do at other times is pretty, short, basic, meaningless. So maybe Friday is the day that I actually try and sit down and do something more substantial. Or I can film a bunch of stuff and just schedule them to go up later in the week. I don't have to post everything the same day that I film them, even though that's kind of my habit. And also, having filming Friday and streaming Saturday next to each other, especially if I post the videos that I film on Friday on that Friday, and then the next day we've got stream, It's sort of like bunching all my longest content together at one end of the week. On the other hand, the weekend is when most people have more free time to potentially watch. But on the other hand, most of my audience are mentally ill stay-at-home bums anyway, who have all the time in the world and don't really need the weekend. So yeah, I'm not really sure. But yeah, no, I think it's like, this is my first week doing it, and I think it's helping. The caveat is I need to not be too strict, because there's life things that get in the way, and yeah, tricky. Like, even though I've been doing this, like, the idea is that I don't have to spend the whole day doing the thing on the list. I just need to do one thing from it, and I think that's doable. But this week, things have just been a lot, and it's been hard to... Actually, did I have something on Monday? Or is it just that it was chaos? I don't know. Maybe family visited or something. But so, Music Monday. And I've been posting on my Instagram stories little updates. Music Monday, I didn't get a whole lot of music done. I think probably because of the situation here. I don't even remember. I'd have to go back to my psychology diary. And I can't be bothered, because I write too much, and I can't be bothered to read my own stuff. And my psychologist is amazing for being able to filter through all my bullshit. But yeah, so all I really did for Music Monday is I located some files and decided on a project. That project may have been inspired by something Mad Simple wrote on Patreon, I think, on one of my recent Patreon posts. So, you know, if your ears end up bleeding, you know who to blame. It is Mad Simple. And hilariously, it is not one of the music projects that I had set as a goal. It's now one of these impulsive mischief things that I now have to do because my brain has decided that's the project we're doing. So I've located the files. Trouble is, I'm not going to be able to record any music for the next 4 to 6 weeks, because during the time of day where most people are out, there's unpredictable sounds of jackhammering and hammers and whatever, power tools and clanking and whatever. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to like put together the tracks that I want to do, practice the shit out of them, and then be ready to record when things finally quieten down. But hopefully before, I'm waiting to find out if certain things in life go nuts. Maybe this weekend we'll find out, but if that happens, then I need to try and get recording done before mid-August, or it's going to be too chaotic. So I have a very short window to get that to happen, and that might throw out some of this sort of mini schedule as well, but let's not think about that. We'll figure that out if it happens. But yeah, between construction and potential life chaos, there might be only like 2 weeks to do recording. But anyway, so I figured out what I want to do, found the files, got the gist of it, and this coming Monday, I guess I will start working on it. Hopefully I will be able to focus on it. But anyway, Tuesday, Art Tuesday. I realize it doesn't start with a T, art, but it ends with a T. Art Tuesday! Anyway, so Art Tuesday, I did have the Art Society's committee meeting, but I decided that doesn't count. And so I did get a bit of art done on one of my works. And I posted a little thing on Instagram, very briefly, but all the main pictures will end up on Patreon as usual. Because I have been pretty good with eventually getting my work in progress photos up there. Website Wednesday is when things really did not, like, things started to go wrong a bit there, because I had psychology that day, and then I also went to buy a new pillow, which I can't be bothered to talk about now because I wasn't prepared to talk about it. If you want to know about my new pillow, though, you can leave a comment and demand I make a video about my pillow. Which, you know, why do you want to know about that? But I also and then, you know, like, I went to lunch and I actually brought my old pillow as well to compare to the new pillows. So I was carrying pillows around on public transport, but the guy let me leave it in the store while I went to get lunch, and then I came back and tried mattresses, and hopefully I can get a new mattress soon. I think I've been sleeping on the same mattress for the past 30 years, since childhood, and it's about time I got a new one. And so I've told the parents, I want one for my birthday. And because they're terrible at they're terrible at coming up with anything for me because they don't really know who I am. Not really. So yeah, solves the problem that they don't have to think of something to buy me, and I can get a new mattress and hopefully get some decent fucking sleep and not wake up with aches and pains. Yeah, but I tried a bunch of mattresses. It's end of financial year, so everything's like half price, which is a lot when it comes to mattresses, and I decided to go for one that was not the cheapest because I think if I'm going to be using it for the next 30 years potentially, I deserve something decent. Anyway, so by the time I got home, that ended up being a 5-hour outing when you consider travel time to psychology and then all of that and then travel time home. So the dog was cross at me, and just all the things that I have to organize after that, I can't even remember all the things I did after that. I had barely any time to do anything on my website, but if you go to my website and check out the music section, I did finally add my Crowbar gig playlist to it. Unfortunately on the website, instead of showing the cover photo for the cover image for that playlist, it just shows the first video, but if you press play, it'll keep playing the next video, next video, next video. Hopefully people worked it out, but that's all I managed to get on there, but at least it was something. The idea is to just chip away because I haven't updated my website in ages, and there are so many things that I need to fix. But if I don't have a set day to do at least one thing a week, then none of it gets done. So something is better than nothing. And this is what I'm trying to do, to chip away. Speaking of chipping away, you may be wondering, Author Thursday, which again, doesn't start with a T, but it does start with an A like art, so it kind of fits a pattern. Author Thursday, Thursday, Author Thursday. It fits. Trust me, it fits. Stop your complaining, it doesn't have to start with a T. If you remember, I make poetry books. And I forget what account you're using now, but one of my OG followers got me into publishing my own little books. Is it Adam? I don't know which account because there's been so many accounts. But anyway, yeah, so this is my next upcoming poetry book. It has been ready for 3 years. Around the time, I think I finished it and got it printed around the time that Hope passed away. So naturally there was a lot of chaos then. I got a copy to my biggest poetry fan, who is a local artist. Oh, I'm dropping things everywhere. Edmund Tommen is a local artist. If you've got one of my books, I may have mentioned it in there. It's not his stuff in there at some point. But yeah, no, he uses lines from my poetry for titles of his artwork sometimes. We have an agreement there, which is just a sort of it's a fun thing. And it's always interesting to see how he interprets the lines of my poetry and also which ones he picks. But I gave him an advance copy. Otherwise, no one has read this except me. And the reason I haven't published it despite it being ready is I'm trying to proofread it one last time, and I clearly got to some point. I got up to some point in it. And I think maybe, yeah, no, I think I got my copy at the same time I got his copy. And at some point I got in almost, I think I got halfway. Yeah, more than halfway. And then stopped. And I think it's just because I got distracted with the floofs puppy chaos era and then just procrastinating, and it fell to the bottom of my pile. And so I need a structured day to sit down and work on my damn poetry books. And then when I finish this one, the goal is to potentially, I don't know if this is actually going to happen, but I've got 5 other poetry books because I release 100 at a time, and OG viewers will know that I used to be a lot more on top of that and publish them more regularly. And it's really in the past 10 years that I've slowed down a lot. I think, 2016 is when I first stopped working and ended up a little bit internet addicted, and started writing a lot less and focusing on a lot less. But I'm considering, and I've been wanting to do this for like more than 10 years, is taking my first 5 books and compiling them into one chunky book of 500 poems. Because, like, if you were following me back in the day, one book at a time, over a few years, easy enough. But if you're someone new to my shit and you want to catch up without having to buy 5 different books, and I think if I can put them together, that'll reduce the printing cost. I think it should do, because it's only one cover. Same number of pages, but one cover, and maybe there's discounts on it, I don't know. But I was thinking of doing that so that it's easier for new people to get into it if they really want to read. Like, this poetry goes back to high school. I think I started in 2005. So it's about 20 years worth of, on and off worth of stuff. And some of it, gone is so long ago. And the earliest poems, I was just doing it for fun, and so some of them are kind of ridiculous and childish, but then eventually I get into the moody shit and the introspective shit and the what is going on in my brain shit. And I was proofreading one yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday, right? Author Thursday. I was proofreading one yesterday, and I'm just like, holy shit, I wrote this. I have calmed down a lot. And I think I've definitely lost the groove, so I don't know. But I might try and do the 1 to 500. So then, if you are interested in reading my poetry over 20 years or so, you can just buy 2 books, the 1 to 500, and then the new one. By the way, I only print them. I don't have PDF versions. I decided that very early on. Maybe I'm a bit of a purist and I don't trust the internet, but and it's nice to have a book. And also the way that I write my poems, I need to get rid of that card because it is annoying me. The way I write my poems, I have a notebook. Once I handwrite it, and once the ink hits the paper and I've written a line, I'm not allowed to edit it. I'm not allowed to edit any of my poems. They have to be I can think about it for a bit, but once it's on the paper, I can't change anything. Maybe I can change a spelling mistake, but that's it. So, yeah, I'm not making any claim to them being the best poems ever because they are unedited. But if you consider that that's my process, and it's kind of an artistic choice I've made because I'm an art wanker and now I have the qualifications to back it up, having a physical book is as close as you can get to reading the original book that I hand wrote in. I'm not going to scan those pages because that would take so much work. It's just easier to type them in and print it like this. And, you can actually read it instead of there's one poem where I couldn't read my own handwriting. So I did scan the handwriting and then put it in as an image, to try and maintain some of that authenticity. But, I'm not making a habit of that. Anyway, so that's my process with the poetry, and I like physical book. So yeah, they are print on demand, so I don't keep stock of them or anything. Anyway, so Author Thursday, and then if I finish this book, publish it, get my 1 to 500 compilation done and publish it, and then I have nothing on the cards, I might try and make Thursday the day that I write at least one poem and just start, I used to write a lot. I had a lot of angstiness, and I wasn't, especially on school, before I had YouTube, that was one of my main ways of getting a lot of shit off my chest. So I was writing a lot more, and then depending on my moods and what I was doing at the time, there are periods of my life where I've written a lot more, and it's calmed down now. But yeah, I think because things have calmed down now, and I've also got more modes to express myself, and my brain is just less, I haven't been writing. I can't even remember the last time I wrote a poem in that book. So, yeah, if there's nothing else to do, I could make Author Thursday a day that I write poetry. Or lyrics, or I could change it. This isn't set in stone. Anyway, so now we come to Filming Friday. Oh, and so also yesterday, I only proofread like maybe 5 or 6 pages of poetry because after Wednesday, I didn't sleep well on the new pillow because I struggle when there are changes to my sleep situations. It's going to take a while to adjust, and it also has new pillow smell. So I've tried spraying it with pillow spray, but it's going to take a while to like pick up my own scent. Anyway, so I didn't sleep well. So then Thursday, I lost a huge chunk of my day to having to nap and recover and just not having energy, and then trying to do the things that I needed to do before the end of the day, and then reading a little bit of poetry, so I didn't get much done then. And then today, filming Friday. Same thing, I didn't sleep very well, and so I had to have a very long nap in the middle of the day again because there was just no functioning otherwise. And then struggling to concentrate. I also had to buy a few things because mattress place is not the only place with an end of financial year sale, so yeah, there's been a bit of that. And then organizing things with Triton and his trainer and his treats, and eventually, you know, like, I've had to goof off a bit just to like get my brain to wake up a bit. I think my blood pressure might be a bit low today because I've been a bit dizzy, you know, standing up too fast. So I don't know, maybe tomorrow I should get on the Hydralite. I could do it today, but speaking of, I better have a drink. I don't know. I think I've drunk enough today, but blood pressure, something's not right with my system. Maybe it's the exhaustion. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. But so I'm filming this now, and it's all over the place, I think. Although I often think that when I make a video that they're all over the place, but then I watch them back and it's like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought. Still bad, but not as bad as I thought. Anyway. Tomorrow. So Saturday is the big, well, before I move on, filming Friday. I have considered, like, what if it's not necessarily that I film because I do film other days? What if it's that I watch a film? Because I hardly ever watch anything these days. But I don't know. I mean, I finished Dexter. What's next on my list? Nothing that I'm too keen on getting into. And like the Danny Phantom one that I accidentally bought an extra box set, which does have season 3, and I still haven't decided to like what to do with the one that only has seasons 1 and 2, but I don't really feel like watching that anytime soon anyway. So yeah, it's probably just a day to do a bit more structured filming. Just it feels a bit silly given that I film so often. So Saturday is a big question, because my initial thought was streaming Saturday, and that's what we did last Saturday. So technically you could say that I've done a week of it, even though I only came up with this, I think, on Sunday. But yeah, streaming Saturday, so maybe we'll do live streams. But I also considered, you know, I do need to try and get some more stuff on Instagram, at least, if I want to promote myself as a musician, artist, whatever. But that doesn't really inspire me. Like, I definitely prefer YouTube. And I don't really like Instagram, and I don't like the self-promotion game, which I know I have to do if I want to get gigs, but then I start questioning, do I really want gigs? It's such a lot of work, but then I think about how gigs are the only time I feel certain things. But then I think about how exhausted I am after. I don't know. It's just the whole self-promotion thing is not my style. Because to really self-promote properly, you have to play everyone else's game. And I don't like everyone else's game. Like, you know, I already said I hate Spotify. I'm not getting on there, but that's what the industry wants. And they're not particularly open if you don't have those statistics of how many listeners you have. And it's like all the listeners are botted anyway. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them, like, you know, how can you even trust the statistics? But yeah, and then, you know, I don't know, at some point I should probably try and actually get some music video type stuff, or at least get my solo music onto YouTube, so that's another way people can listen, but I just haven't got around to it and haven't decided, do I want to do it as a visualizer or a lyric video, or do I just put the album cover up, music, done. Kind of boring, but that's the easiest. And do I have the energy for more? And like, you know, I did want to pay someone to help me with that stuff, but if they don't reply, and if they ghost you at the moment anything gets serious, maybe that's not someone you want to trust your money with. your money and your art with. I'm really not in a social mood lately, you know, like people's poor communication. I think maybe I'll do the rant on that as another video another time. But, yeah. I mean, my psychologist this week was a bit more understanding of like, you know, maybe pushing me to be social isn't the right thing at the moment, because I think this latest run of like that tiredness and then migraines and then more tiredness, it kind of started with me going out to that gig and being social, and like I only went to see one band and didn't really enjoy the rest of the night, so it was a lot of effort. And I didn't really socialize that much. I pretty much just talked to the one person I went there to see, and that's about it. So, yeah, and then, you know, I point out this stuff that I'm unhappy with people. There's so many loose ends that I had to tie up lately, and I finally got them tied up, or tied off or whatever. And so now I'm reluctant to open any more loose ends. But anyway, so social media and playing the game of getting your stuff out there. I mean, you can look at my YouTube and I clearly don't give a shit about how many people watch. So why should I do all that for music, which I do even less? Like, YouTube comes to me more naturally than music, that's for sure. You know, I just sit here and ramble and get shit off my chest, and it's helpful to get shit off my chest. And it's much easier to do than writing a whole song about it and trying to find a stage. A stage for half an hour, and then that's it. Anyway, no, I mean, like, recording music, I could just do that, but social media, do I want to promote myself? This is a decision I need to make, is like, do I want to promote myself more full on? Or am I happy with the way I'm doing it now, with the DIY stuff, the low-key underground thing where, you know, people have to find me and I'm just not playing that whole game? Or do I really want to... I suppose it'll depend on what happens with the rest of the year, because if life things happen later in the year, that's my whole year pretty much written off, because there will be a lot of chaos. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But if that doesn't happen, then maybe it will be more of a question of how much do I want to promote my music. So that could be a Saturday thing, social media Saturday. Or I could just be social. But then again, when you think about it, doesn't all of this come under the umbrella of kind of being social? Like, yes, there's in-person socializing, but then there's social media. And then there's streaming, which is, yeah, me talking to the camera and text coming up. But it is technically with other people, even if they seem like NPC text to me. It's still technically social. So we could call it Social Saturday and then just stream instead. But anyway... and then cleaning Sunday. Well, I mean, you know, I've always called it Sunday's cleaning day, but maybe I could go for something like sanitation Sunday or something, but it doesn't have that. Sanitation Sunday just doesn't sound right, so I don't know. Is there another way I can make that catchier? But yeah, so that's basically my plan, and this week... Probably Art Tuesday is the only one that was really successful, because I did about as much as I could bear to do physically, and that was probably for like at least an hour and a half. That's a decent amount of time, whereas I don't think Music Monday was a lot of searching for the files I needed. I did not get much actual music done. Website Wednesday and Author Thursday, I kind of just weaseled something in at the last minute. Filming Friday, doing this at the last minute because it's already 9:10 and I'm going to be struggling to get it up tonight. Streaming Saturday, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Maybe. It depends how tired I am though. I'm fucking exhausted. Like, the fact that I'm functioning. The fact that I've functioned at all the last 2 weeks or so. And especially since all this construction's happened, like, you know, it's hard to nap because of all the noise, but today and yesterday, I was just so tired, you know, in bed, especially yesterday when there was a lot of jackhammering going on. I just stayed in bed and I wasn't sleeping. But the moment the jackhammering stopped, I fell into a deep dream, and if I hadn't set my alarm, I would have just slept until dinner or until Triton jumped on me. Yeah, wow. So I'm pretty much running on empty at the moment, but yeah. And then bonsai, I've just got to keep them alive. And that's how I'm trying to structure my day. I think the most important things are maybe website Wednesday and author Thursday, because that's to chip away at things that I otherwise wouldn't do. And what I think is a major benefit of trying to do this, like, it's not too strict, but it is structure. The benefit of this is because I have a ridiculous number of hobbies and things that I want to get done, choice paralysis is a real problem for me. You know, if I've got some free time and the energy and focus to do something, I often get stuck on, okay, which thing should I do? And this takes that out of the equation. It's like I can still do things on other days, and I have filmed on other days. But yeah, no, like, it's like, okay, what should I do with my time now? Oh, what day is it? Website Wednesday. Let's put some shit on the website. Let's clean that up a bit, because it is really, I really need to get on top of it. And so, yeah, just chip away at the things that I've been wanting to do for a while. And I can always change it. And if I miss a day, it's not a big drama. Although I would try not to, because habit building, you want to be consistent to turn something into a habit. And once something is a habit, it doesn't feel like as much effort. But yeah, the other way that I've lost a bit of time apart from napping, though, is the floof. I've been taking him for extra walks, mainly for training. And because, like, now that I've been doing the training with him, I can see that he actually is bored and he's just too polite to say so, or doesn't know how to communicate to me that he would like to go out again. But I've also been taking him out because of all the construction. I can't let him out onto the yard off leash. So he's having less yard time, so it's just good for him to get out of the house, and good for us to get out of the noise. Although we tend to be, we sort of walked a bit too late. The noise is done by then, but yeah, life is a lot of effort, and I don't even. I mean, how am I so busy despite being unemployed? It just, how did I even function when I was employed? How did I get anything? You know, because I'm so struggling so much. And like every day, I know a lot of people think that time passes faster as they get older, but that is not my experience. Every day is so long. And yet I still am struggling to fit everything in. Nothing makes sense with my brain. And then, yeah, I don't know, I'm just like, how did I work in the past? And like, you know, working and doing uni at the same time. I don't know, like, no wonder I kept getting depressed and struggling if, like, I can't even handle just the current state of me. Like, it's hard enough to get anything done now. I guess I do have more health problems now, and my mental health, like, I'm not on antidepressants because that didn't work out well, so, you know, maybe I should be kinder to myself now, but I'm just like, how did I... God, like, was it the energy of youth and, like, the assistance of antidepressants? Because the antidepressants really made me crazy, bouncing off walls and stuff. Maybe I had the extra energy from that. I don't know, I'm super tired. I better shut up and just get this uploaded and move on with my life and get some fucking sleep. Or try to get some sleep. If my brain will let me, and stop waking up at random times. Like... Just sleep through the night, then we won't have to nap during the day. How hard is that? Nothing fucking makes sense with my brain, I swear.